What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy, Quarter Porter with Cheese, and I'm here for another podcast. And in the wings, I have that man Daniel, I have that man Frank, and I have that man Bryce. But that man Bryce stepped away for a moment, and we got some topics that we want to get into at hand. But before I get things kicked off, I want to bring these guys into the conversation right now.
The head of the house is still here, so
So, like I
and
said,
also the mom's here, so
I have this man Frank, and I have that man Daniel, and Bryce will be joining us. That man's on his perfect attendance streak right here. He's making sure that he makes it to all the podcasts and show some support. So
I
hopefully you guys
try.
will enjoy our topics. We're gonna start. We were supposed to do this thing Memorial Day, and then I tried to move it up onto the day before Memorial Day, and then so we ended up doing it after the Memorial Day. So I wanted to show some support to the veterans, a deep appreciation because of their sacrifice. We're able to even have the liberties to act crazy, live stream, publish videos, and just enjoy life in general because there's a few people that are proud enough to put their lives on the line and sacrifice their livelihood for the other people, the rest of us that are over here. So with that being said, let's get into these topics real quick. We got the first one up is one that's probably not of interest to a lot of people that come to the channel because we're a gaming channel. But I grew on this episode series grew on me when I started watching. I was hooked, and then it just recently ended. Game of Thrones. So I'm gonna say my little bit of piece on this because it's been burning me up since I watched the last episode. I watched the last episode of Game of Thrones. I did not watch the little featurette that came out last Sunday, the last watch where they talked about how they recorded it, because basically I was highly upset about the way that it ended in general. Did not like the ending. We've invested so much time into the show, and then for it to end the way that it did, it was left a kind of a sour taste in my mouth. I mean, they tried to like if you had if you didn't have to wait the year and a half or however long it was from season 7 to season 8. Most people that were able to like just binge watch from like seasons 1 all the way to the end, it doesn't bother you. But like just think in real time, we had to wait after season 7 for like a year and a half almost before they released the final 6 episodes of Game of Thrones. And there was a lot of gaps in the season 8. There was a Starbucks cup that was left on in one of the shots. There was a water bottle left in the very last episode shot. There
There
was
was a camera in one of the shots as well.
so there's a lot of things that were like hastily done, put together. From what I understood, there was execs at HBO that told the writers that they could take as much time as they need. They didn't have to like try to shorten it. They could have maybe stretched it out to like 10 to 12 episodes if they wanted to. But they made the decision that they were going to go for 6 episodes, and they were going to get everything done in those 6 episodes and finish things up. From what I observe and from what I understand is that the author of the actual books that the series is based on, he stopped writing like as of like season 6. I think it was the last like written where they had like his
I think season 6 was the last.
his
Or was
book.
it 5?
Might have been 5 or 6, but like you could tell there was like a big difference in like the plot arcs and like the description and like just the general detail to stuff that was missing in the last couple of seasons, especially in the last 2 seasons. I think season 6 was okay. Like I think it still had some of the book to be based on, because I mean he's still writing currently, so like he hasn't finished the entire series.
About to get finished.
But yeah,
I don't think
for
it's gonna
me,
get finished.
as a watcher and avid fan of the Game of Thrones series, let's just say that overall I was very disappointed with the way it ended, and wish that they either a would have just stopped making them after 6, or like waited until he was completely done with the Game of Thrones books, the Song of Ice and Fire, and just have finished all of that and then started shooting it. But I know that they had started it already, so it's kind of hard for you to stop because by that time people have already lost interest in continuing to do the acting and all that stuff. And I think that's why they rushed to go ahead and finish it, because like
They could have just ended it like they could have just made up their own ending after the books ended. Like they tried to keep like going it keep it going, but it didn't. They should have just ended it with the books.
Yeah, I think that would have been the best way because like
I think they're
it would
also
have just
ending.
because I mean I understand that they had vision and they had the guy's blessing to kind of like continue and make they had like some of his input for it and stuff like kind of like where he was going overall with the books and such, but it was disappointing, none to say the less. It took away from the epicness that was like the first 5 or 6 seasons of it. But I'm gonna let this man Bryce say his piece because he has a different perspective than me because he came into it really late. He didn't like watch it like at its infancy and stuff. So let that man speak on it.
Yeah, I started watching season one the day season eight, like the first episode of season. Wait, is this season eight? They're in season
Yeah, it
eight's
was
the end, right?
season 8. That was the final
Yeah,
season.
I started watching when season eight like started, so I didn't have to like wait like months or like years for like the upper seasons. So I could see why the ending was disappointing, but I like as a finale, I thought it was semi alright. I thought there was a lot of things that they could have done better. Like with the Night King arcs really bugs me. Like there's like so much build up for him, and he in his like his entire episode of like where he dies lasts like how like an hour, like an entire episode, and his death wasn't even like that much. Like Arya just like came out of nowhere and just stabbed him, and that was it. I felt like a lot of story arcs or characters didn't like have their full arcs. Like a lot of people are complaining about Tyrion. Like his arc isn't fully doesn't make sense. Jon Snow's arc doesn't make sense. Like a bunch of like characters, I felt like they could have done more justice if they just didn't try to do it on their own. Either like waited it out or just ended it with the books.
I was gonna
But I thought
say,
it was yeah, I thought it was all right as an ending. I can see why a lot of people like the OG fans were disappointed though.
yeah. So and that's my final piece on Game of Thrones, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it off to the side. It might accidentally knock it into the trash can, just file it as garbage to finish it up. But we got some stuff to be hype about, guys. So we got Super Mario Maker 2 coming out here at the end of next month. I want to say it's like June 28th, I
June
think.
28th.
So
Release
like
date.
it's already marked on a lot of people's calendars. I got that date circled on my calendar in
I'm
pencil.
gonna stream the game, so that's safe as.
So it's a shameless plug, but I mean, so we're gonna have that Mario Maker definitely somewhere for you to watch it. That man Frank said he's gonna stream it, so that y'all be if y'all interested, y'all got to check it out. That man's got his own channel. He's doing his own thing. But let's
Yes.
talk about this Mario Maker. Now, to Bryce's chagrin, I still have not watched the direct featuring
Bro,
Super Mario Maker 2.
what do you
Oh my god.
mean?
So, based off of what I have seen, this is just my opinion. I wasn't impressed with Mario Maker the first edition, but I also didn't do a lot of exploring with the game and like trying to build levels and stuff. I just played other people's levels because by the time I got onto the train late when the train was already getting ready to slow down to a stop. So let you guys tell me what you guys are most interested in with Super Mario Maker 2 coming out.
Bro, this man did
Okay.
not watch the direct. I'm sad.
Okay, for my point is pretty much the new themes like desert, for example, because I've been dying to build a desert level, but it's not in the original Mario Maker. Even when update one comes with the checkpoints, for example, still no desert. Till now, we got deserts where people are asking for, including
Didn't they
slopes.
also add the Mad Sun, dude? The Angry
Huh?
Sun? Didn't they
Yeah,
also add
also
the
the
Angry
Angry Star and also the Angry Moon, I believe, which turns
It's like
the
a I don't think it's angry. I think it's like a different type of moon. It's like calm and all that.
yeah, it's kind of part of the moon from the Super Luigi Review, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I thought it was
Anyway,
just
like
random.
I know that you can actually place the moon and turn to the night theme. In probably in the future, you unlock the ability to just turn the night theme on and not use the moon at all. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but let's see. But people were super hype on the February 27th direct, I believe is the direct name is. they actually show up slopes, and that hype people up.
Bro, Slopes was just the beginning, honestly.
I
It
know,
had a
slope.
bunch
Slope
of content.
is the one thing people ask for.
And they can still do DLC. Like I don't think they
Yeah,
need DLC like that. Well, like with the friends thing, like that you can't play online with friends. I think that they should add that. But
yeah. I
besides that,
just recently heard that
everything
actually.
else looks good.
You can play random online, but not with your friends
Yeah,
online.
I was kind of upset about
I
that.
know the big bummer. I know.
They added like rank. You can go in go karts. I was like, oh snap,
Mario Kart, pretty much Mario Kart and Mario Maker. I
bro.
know.
This is I'm gonna say right now. This is like a Super Mario killer. Like all these other like Super Mario, Wii U, and all that. No, it's no more. You don't need any more Super Mario games. You just need Mario Maker. Fight
Yeah,
me.
Mario Maker, like people make the levels and bam, there we go.
And they
Speak
also
of
have the story mode with
yes,
actual developers that made like I think it's like over 100
yeah, over
stages.
100 levels.
Yeah,
Yes.
over 100 levels. So even if you do want like the original or classic feel, you have that as well.
So
Also
wait,
speaking,
there's gonna actually be a story mode in the Mario Maker game.
Yeah, there's
pretty
an
much
actual
Peter's
story mode,
Castle, pretty much Goblin Race. That's pretty much the story is all about.
basically rebuilding.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you pretty much rebuilding Peter's Castle.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if that it's because on Dewdog or the way so pretty much destroy the castle. I know it's
There's a
silly.
bunch of content though. A lot, and
Speaking,
they also announced that that little voucher thing where you can if you get two, you can get
you
two
can get the
two
Mario Maker 2 for example, or like you can get us for Smash Bros.
yeah, you can get
Ultimate.
two first party games for $100.
Yes. And honestly, yeah.
$20 off. That's a steal, honestly. Like if you like, I think it's a steal for if you're like if you're gonna get this game like day one and you want it digital. Like if you're like me and you're a physical boy, then you probably wouldn't need this.
Yes.
But
I agree.
and it's limited time, so you're people are getting it like right now. 100
Okay,
for
so
you. That's cheap.
speaking of Mario Maker of these whole like Mario styles, of course you know about the four games, Mario Bros. 1, 3, World, and U, and also the new one, 3D World, right?
Hmm.
It says styles instead of like style. It's a pronoun, which means there's more than one, right?
What?
Pretty much, it says game styles or extra game styles. It's a pronoun, which is more than one, which you can fit an extra theme right next to 3D World, which is a theme you cannot compare with the other four themes.
A lot of people want like a Mario Odyssey
Yeah,
type
Mario
style.
C, Mario 2,
Honestly, they should just add
and
everything.
Paper Mario.
It's probably gonna be like paid DLC though. Like to
Yeah,
make the
true.
stages, you'll probably need to pay.
It could be a Odyssey, Mario Land, Mario Bros. 2, US version, of course, or Paper Mario. I know.
Oh, a Paper Mario one would be.
I'm hoping for Paper Mario though.
Girl, a Paper Mario one would be. I'd actually
I'll be
like.
I'll be happy actually.
I paid for that honestly.
Me, yeah, I'll pay for that
I've
also.
actually never played. Like I haven't played any of the Paper Mario games, which I should. I should.
Paper Mario, if you ever have a chance, I believe on the Wii U there should be Paper Mario the first
What's
one on
that?
Virtual Console.
What's a Wii U?
Oh my god.
I don't know what that is.
The bell.
It's a Wii, but it's a U.
I know what the Wii is, but Wii U
Yeah.
I buried
It's
that.
the U as in for yourself.
But they put it on eBay.
All right, so my man Dan, you got any thoughts on Super Mario Maker 2, my boy? You've been awfully quiet.
Well, I'm really fond of the game because I don't have any reasons to buy it. Because like I'm
It's
not
Mario
really,
Maker.
yeah, I'm not a builder type dude.
And you play the
And,
game.
like,
You play the build. You play the
Yeah,
stage.
no.
What do you
I like
mean?
traditional Mario games, not
Then
where
you got 100. Then you got 100
not where
stages
no,
built
no,
by
no,
the
no,
developers.
no, not where I see freaking Zelda as a skin. Hello?
Bro, you got 100
Mario
stages built by the developer though.
No, bro. Okay, if we're being honest, they barely added in new stuff. They barely added.
What do you mean they
Hey,
didn't
what
add
do
new
we
stuff?
It's all the same, bro. I'm just
What?
it is all
Go
the same.
karts is the same.
bro, you can add in a few other like attention to detail type stuff, but
Oh,
it's
my Mario is the same.
yeah, all they're not.
What do you mean?
Okay,
Pretty
look,
much Mario, Luigi, Toad,
Ranked Super Mario is now is not new. Hello?
they ranked.
Yeah, they got ranked.
What for what?
They got ranked Mario Maker, boys.
For
It's
what?
on.
Is it
It's
who
on.
can build the?
No,
What is this?
I
Is
think
this
it's
the
for like
chocolate
stages,
game
dude.
all over again?
Bro, it's on. I'm about to be
Rank
blank.
for what?
I'm about to be ranking up. I don't care what it's for. I'm ranking up.
Wait, bro, tell me that they added Link skins to Mario Maker.
Polo, can I ask you something?
Is that what?
in the last
They
game?
don't. They
They
didn't
had that
have
in the
any
last game.
amiibo support.
So wait, so they really did put Link skins in Super Mario Maker?
I thought they
No.
had that in the last game though.
No, they
They-
didn't have
They're not
that.
gonna support amiibo in the Mario Maker 2 game.
There was like I thought there was like a little block thing. that
Oh
you
yeah, I
had.
know what you're talking about, Bryce. I think the where like you could change
There
little
is no-
characters and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah, I got you.
Was one of those Link? Or-
Understandable. I think I'm following you now though. I was
Yeah.
about to throw the game in the trash before it even came out. When I was like, bro, hey, wait.
Bro, I still need a good reason to buy it. Just because
Bro,
Mario
you
drives
just
in
gave
a
me like
car.
7.
No. Just because Mario drives in a car doesn't mean I'm about to throw 60 at them. Okay,
Bro, it's ranked though.
bro. If you're being honest, anyone could pull this off with a like really strong computer. Bro, if someone wanted to, they could make this whole free, man.
Bro, nobody's gonna make that free. There's literally like millions of different levels you can play.
Bro, I
Legit millions.
Mario games.
Bro, I don't know. I'm kind of with Daniel on this. I'm kind of in that wait and see method. Right?
I'm not even like a Mario fan. Like I don't even play like the Mario platformers, and I'm hyped for this game.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, the last like Mario games have been kind of disappointing, honestly. But
I mean the Mario games they're kind of getting old because it's
Marvel's
just
Wii
save
was a
Peach.
good one.
That's it. That's it. Like they need
Marvel's
to do
Wii
something.
was
Like
a
if they're
good
gonna make. Oh, go ahead.
I'm saying that Marvel's Wii, the Wii version of Mario Bros. Is pretty good actually. Since it's actually the first Mario Bros. In forever to be on a console. And then we have Mario Bros. Wii U.
If they're gonna like make another Mario game, then they're gonna have to do something like they did with Zelda. Like
Second,
for a while, that was like a completely different game. Like a
Didn't you
lot
want-
of people don't like it because it wasn't like Zelda, but
yeah, true.
it was different from the actual Zelda. Like if Nintendo's gonna do something different with Mario,
I was gonna say actually, Breath of the Wild actually, to me, honestly, returned towards the actual real Zelda games where you actually explored. You didn't have something holding your hand, guiding you through the game. Like you just
Well,
basically you were basically
like the
tossed in
open
this
world
world.
aspect.
And you like basically explore, and that's basically how you played Zelda. Like the first one, like it had a little map inside of the game
Yeah,
and stuff.
I
Now
played
that
it
we're
with
getting a
my
little
brother,
off topic, but I mean, yeah, that it's going to take some innovation to save Mario. Mario Maker 2 might be the thing. I mean, it might be. They might have thrown so much stuff in this thing. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna throw the kitchen sink at them and see what they can come up with, what they cook up. Because I think that the developers of Mario Maker were like surprised at some of the levels, the creativity of people using just a little small palette of things that they provided, and then they started slowly adding more things after people were requesting things, you know. And they're probably really excited to see what people can come up with. You know, and I mean, I'm not a creator of levels. I play the level and tell you whether I like it or
I'm
not.
gonna tell you that right now.
You know what?
So,
One
like-
thing I want added in Mario Maker 2 that's not in Mario Maker 2?
Was that?
Pokies.
Pokies.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The cactuses that move around. Yeah, I got you.
Desert enemies. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe they forgot about that enemy that is great in desert. Like, that is just a dishonest from Nintendo. Of forgetting that one
They
enemy.
can add it as a DLC. I
Yeah,
think
true.
they didn't want to like overwhelm
Mario
people
free
with it.
DLC on my ad.
Like if they like, it was only one direct. They can do more. They can announce more in E3, but I don't think they announced everything. Like during that one like 15-minute direct.
Bro, I think that
They
they
have so
could
much
probably, from what y'all said, it sounds like they got a good base of stuff to like build off of, because you know they're going to get feedback from people that play it,
for sure.
so there's going to be
Also-
more stuff added.
Also, everybody can actually play your levels since all levels are support for versus players.
Nice. So now speaking, y'all were talking about DLCs and stuff like that. Let's move over to the topic
Smash
that the meat and potatoes of the stream right now. The Smash, the
Billy
great
is not
Smash
here.
debate. Smash Ultimate's been out for almost 6 months now. So like let's talk about Smash. Let's talk about Smash Ultimate. Let's talk about what's wrong with Smash. Now, I had a good, healthy debate with that man Billy, but that man has not showed up where we can see.
He's hiding.
Yeah, no.
But like basically, this man was wanting some changes to happen to the game and such. We had a discussion on whether it was okay to complain about a game as you know, basically like the way that it boiled down to was like he was like, if you don't like a matchup, then learn the matchup. If you want to complain about the matchup, then you might as well not play the game.
Bro, I don't believe in matchups. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's all about the skill. I don't believe in matchups.
Yeah.
I was thinking that really that's what it comes down to. It's about the skill of the
That's what it
player.
is. A lot of people are saying like Pikachu can beat Link. Nah, it's all down to the skill.
So that's a good talker as well. If that man shows up later on, we might extend the podcast out a little bit because I got to get this man in here because he had a lot. I mean, he had some points, but I mean, there was one point that like stuck out to me as a no. And usually I'll let that man talk about whatever he's talking about, but like that one, I had to stop. I had to stop that man. But like, what do y'all guys think? What do y'all like Smash as is? Do y'all think it needs some adjusting? I mean, where are y'all's heads at on Smash?
That's just cool.
Yeah, I like Smash. Despite the fact that Daniel's characters are making me cry right now. Despite that, it's I really like it. Honestly, I think it's a solid game. But
I'll say like don't like.
no game's perfect.
The
Honestly.
thing about Smash is like it's alright, but like Nintendo themselves just don't listen to like the community.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't want to be that guy, but it's a region select community that they'll listen to. I'm just saying that.
Talk about only
Okay.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Right? They only
Like-
listen to their kind.
Yeah.
Hashtag no Steve and Goku in Smash.
But
I don't
overall,
want that.
Smash is really diverse. It's come a long way. It's like brought in a bunch of bunch of audience. Some people that have never touched the game before are stepping into the dipping their toes in the water just to play it and are enjoying it.
Yeah.
It goes as far as people are even trying the old Smash game. They're trying to bring it back. Melee tournaments like more often than what I've seen.
Sadly, Pichu is still still unbreakable. Like since it's the worst character in Melee.
I don't care about characters. It's just the fact that just like the game.
I mean, like
It's
there's a
alright.
history of
It's
Pichu
okay.
though.
What exactly was
people
Billy
are into the
complaining
game.
about though?
Do not expect a lot. That's the thing.
What was Billy complaining about though? Like exactly.
He was complaining about certain characters. He like wanted Sakurai to take out certain characters out of the roster. But
I mean,
like he was
it looks
saying
like
like he doesn't mind studying the matchups and such. And I was telling him some people don't have time to watch videos or whatnot. And he was like, some people don't watch videos to learn the matchups. I'm like, well, let's say they play the game. You're still going to be behind somebody that actually watches the video. So I mean, there's varying degrees of skill already in the base players, right? But like
Yeah.
if you can get an edge on the competition by learning matchups, by let's say you watch a video, a pro player puts a video out and you learn the matchups of a single character versus different characters. So because that's the character you want to play as. Let's say somebody who doesn't watch videos, they want to learn, they want to play the game and learn the matchups. You know, they have to play, you know, in like let's say versus online or whatever, and hopefully fight all these different characters, kind of learn the different matchup situations. Like, but that person that's learning from the pro player watching their videos, they're already going to have a lot more knowledge than the person who has to play all those matches to gain that knowledge, because somebody's already condensed all that information and put it in like a 5 to 10 minute video so they can watch it and prepare. So I mean, like I was telling him, some people don't have that time. They got real life stuff they got to do. They may want to sit down and enjoy their purchase, but then they're stuck playing against people that watch the videos. They get into the online thing. They already got a leg up on this person who doesn't have the time to do that. So I'm gonna get mad because. So I'm gonna get mad and complain about the game because, like, bro, if there's some stuff that's really unfair, like there's some moves that are broken, there's some stuff that needs tweaking, but like the only way they find out about that is people complain about it, right? Somebody has to complain. Somebody has to speak up so that they can hear, hey, there's this issue that y'all might want to look into. But like the way Billy was saying was like nobody should be complaining about the game. They should just learn the matchups. I'm like, no. If you got, let's say you went to a restaurant and you ordered food, and what you ordered did not look like the picture. It was poorly put together. It was sloppy. So like you have the right as a paying customer to go up to the counter and be like, look, this is not going to work. Can we at least try to make it look presentable? At least put some effort into this. And I mean that's the thing that you have that right as a paying customer. So that's what I was trying to tell Billy. I was like, you have the right to complain to Sakurai and the development team about certain things that you feel like that may not be broken. That gives them the opportunity to look at it again. So like they can actually tweak and adjust the game and balance it a little bit more. And that's what I was trying to get across to Billy, and he was like, "No, they just need to learn the matchups, and you can learn the matchups from playing the game." And I'm like, some people don't have the time; they just want to sit down and enjoy their game.
Other games. I don't just want to like play Smash and that's
Exactly, because there's a lot of games.
I have like a bunch of different games that I want to play. I don't want to just be on Smash 24/7 just so I can know how to smash a Link in 2 seconds.
Exactly, and that's
game like Game of Thrones, for
that's
example,
just too much.
Odyssey, or for a while, you get the point.
Exactly.
I mean, for like pro players that like get paid to do that, then I can understand if they like.
If they have reached a skill level or a plateau where they can actually get paid to do that. I mean, yeah, and then even those people have the right to complain about the game. They may see something that's broken in the game before an average person will, because they know the mechanics of the game really good from playing it and fighting other skilled players on a like tournament level stage. So I mean that's where like that man, I felt like that man was wrong, that he just needed to realize that there's more to life than just Smash Ultimate or Smash in general. That they have an obligation to the people that pay for the game to try to fix it. They're not that when they finished the game and released it, that wasn't the end. That wasn't the end of them continuing to develop the game and tweak it. I know that they're working on downloadable content, but let's say
I think they should do more like nerfs and buffs and all that.
And that's what they have been doing. But I mean, just on the side of like the restaurant thing. Let's say you ordered a burger and the burger was sloppy, but then like they got you can get fries and a shake and all this other stuff on the side. Like that's your DLC. Now, if your burger was garbage, are you gonna pay for the shake and the fries and all that stuff? I mean, honestly,
no, I'm not.
You're gonna be like, nah, son, I'm good. I'll just
Carrie, like, can I speak to the manager?
and that's what basically like if they take the time to listen and adjust and fix the game, the base game, then they'll sell more in DLC because people are saying, hey, they actually listen to us and fix this stuff, so that the people will be apt to spend more money on the stuff that comes out later.
Yeah, I think it's just Nintendo in general that they don't respond to the feedback that we give them, and even if they do, it's not very well. Like we've been wanting like an actual voice chat for like the beginning of the Switch, and they haven't even like said anything. They're just like, hey, have this app.
The second is the voice chat with the Nintendo Online phone app.
But that's garbage. I don't want to bring out my phone just so I can. Like,
and besides, Discord's more better than that.
Like for console, I'd want an actual voice chat like how PS4 and Sony has. I want that. I don't want to, especially for a portable console. Like if I'm taking out my Switch, then why do I need like 3 other screens just so I can talk to someone? It just makes no sense.
All right. Let's let that man Daniel in here. That man's been sitting back there waiting in the wings. So that man, that man's loaded up. He's got his gun loaded. So let's let that man fire off.
So one quick joke. Watch you like show up at McDonald's or something and really like working there. and like Billy make your food all trash, right? And then you complain, and Billy goes, "Learn the match."
Learn the matchup.
And at that point, I will go right over to Burger King and be like, all right, so
You gotta learn the secret menu, dude.
I'm with the wall.
bro, if Billy made the base menu garbage, what makes you think that the secret menu is going to be any better than that? No, we're just gonna go over to Burger King real quick and just get off their menu. That's when you start losing players, honestly, for reals. Like let's say it's like that's like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter back in the day. You know, whenever there were certain things that were being added to like Mortal Kombat, and people were like, you know, it'd be nice if they added this. Let's say Capcom wasn't listening to the people that were playing the game, and they're like, no, you know, we want blood in our game, and Capcom's like, nah, son, we're good. We'll just give y'all this. And we'll, you know, maybe add this feature that you didn't ask for. You know, people are going to switch over to Mortal Kombat. They'll be like, at least Williams Entertainment or Midway was listening to us, you know, whenever they're developing the game. So, like, people go where they feel like their voice is heard and where the product is good. And that they feel like that they have a connection with those people that are delivering the product to them. So, I mean, like, let's say that... like I try to use the big YouTubers as an example because, like, you know, they have so many people that are watching their videos, you know, and such. You know, sometimes they get lost in the numbers, the sea of numbers. And like for a smaller channel, you know, the way that you get started is you interact with the people. You find out what they want. You know, you find out what they don't like. You know, you get to know your audience, and then like as you grow and stuff, your audience grows with you. But you have to continually be out there in the trenches and, you know, find out what's the pulse of the channel, what's the pulse of what's going on with my channel to figure out why it isn't growing, or if things start to slide down, you have to get out there and figure out what's going on. But I mean, that's where I felt like, you know, Nintendo has dropped the ball immensely on some things, and that they might be in trouble because they're starting to show that Sony path. You know, they're out here, you know, dominating the sales, the unit sales, and they can start to get a big head. You know, so like that was what happened to them. You know, before when they were like, oh, we're the video game developers. You know, Sony and Xbox, y'all can get out of here with that. Y'all do other things. You know, this is all we do. But then you see how Sony and Microsoft started to take away from their market share, because Sony and Microsoft were listening to the people that were playing their games. They were trying to build those relationships and finding out what the people wanted. And then that's how Nintendo ended up being the redheaded stepchild of the video game industry instead of the juggernaut that they had been. So like now they're just starting to get back to where they're coming back, you know. But I mean, it's one of those things that if you don't keep your feet in the trenches and you don't keep your ear to the streets to find out what people want, then you can easily end up like Sony. And, you know, they already had people, like, being angry about the cross-platform thing. That dang near killed Sony itself.
I know. People, like, moving to the Xbox or Switch.
Like I was saying, imagine if they would have been dogged and been like, nah, we're really not doing cross-platform, no matter how much y'all complain about it. Bro, just imagine how many people would have bounced. Because developers started to turn on them. Like Bethesda was like, oh well, so we ain't gonna make no games for y'all if y'all ain't got cross-platform. You can kiss that goodbye. I mean, when you start losing your developers, then that you're treading scarily where Nintendo was previously, when they had lost all developer support basically, and it was just them supporting their console.
And then the Switch comes when they add in a lot of indie developers.
But they have to go to that place and learn from their mistake though before they could make that change, instead of, you know, listening and actually being proactive instead of reactive. Like they waited until it was too late, and then now they had to find a way to reach out to those developers that made those games and bring them back into the fold. But I mean that's what I feel like where Smash is right now. Like it can be treading the water, like getting ready to sink at any moment. Like as long as they keep developing and doing updates and tweaks and stuff. I mean, that man Sakurai, bless his heart, that man works harder than any human being I know on the planet right now. That man's working like super duper hard. Like I even heard that this man had like an IV in him just so he could continue working. I was like, this man is like next level dedicated to the stuff. And then, you know, we always hear people complaining about this or that, and then, you know, like, quit complaining about the game. I was like, no, that man needs to hear the feedback. He cares about his craft. Like, he actually cares about what people are saying about his game. That man's out there in Twitter looking at what people say about his game, and he's always trying to figure out ways to make the game better. Like, I like, honestly, like, out of all the developers and stuff, like, he should get the most respect for what he does and what he's done for his game and stuff. He like actually takes to heart what people say and when he develops his stuff.
I think the only thing that's limiting him is like Nintendo's approval.
Yeah,
Like he could do so much more if he was like an independent sort of developer, but I don't think that he'd be very successful because, you know, Nintendo's the big thing. You got to go where the money is.
Well, I mean, you know, Sony, they got money. They probably been trying to throw stacks of money at that man.
I mean, I don't think you can put like Mario in it. Like, Sony doesn't really have like that much of an iconic, you know, thing.
Yeah, not really. Yes.
Like, they have iconic characters, but you can't really do anything with them
Like,
besides their default like game. You know.
Right. That's where we got that man. That's where
you can do crossplay and all, or like different things like Smash Bros. That's very popular because you have like Link and all them, like these iconic characters that people grew up with.
It's kind of similar to something happened to Minecraft. Like before 1.8, people loved the game, but after like 2 years later, when 1.9 released, aka the comeback update, that destroyed the community in half.
I think people are complaining a lot though.
It's a split community from the community that goes forward or the community that stays at 1.8. I'm not joking. Till when Minecraft listened to when the quality update came, that brings the community together.
I think it went downhill when Microsoft got it.
The comeback update.
Yeah, well, that man Daniel with that timely joke about Billy making somebody's food and telling them to learn the matchup. So
gotta get the secret menu. I'm telling you, gotta know the secret menu, or you're not getting a good burger. Welcome to Good Burger. Welcome to Good Burger.
No, but yeah, again, like when you hear someone complain on Smash, like, "Dang, stop it! I need to fix it, man." I'm just all like, it's funny, but in reality, you know for sure, like they don't like, yeah, they could mean it, but what work, you know, it's like, you should hear yourself right now. Like I say that a lot. I don't mean half of the stuff I mean.
Pay attention.
Certain characters I mean for what I mean, but again, it like you said, if you go to like if you don't take this online, you can complain for the rest of your life, okay? But anything, right? Again, like you're just another million person playing the game and complaining. Any work being done there. I understand why people don't internet's attention because like no one cares. Why are you complaining about a video game? So,
well, that argument would have worked about 10 years ago, but like now, like video games are like they're like the prime pastime of people. So I mean, now you got grandma playing the game. You know, grandma, grandma puts up with a lot of stuff. But if grandma's getting destroyed by a Bayonetta on online Smash, she gonna be complaining. She gonna be like, "What the fuck is this bullshit? I'm trying to play this game." You ain't gonna argue with grandma. If grandma say something's some BS, you better believe it's some BS because grandma done seen a lot of stuff in her life.
You better get her sandals off. You better watch it.
Yeah, she gonna go over there. She gonna go fly over to Japan herself and hit Sakurai with her sandals. She ain't gonna mess around.
You better make Bayonetta more better than right now.
But I mean, there are some people that excessively complain. Like you always know when those people are that everything that they touch, it has to go their way or they're complaining about it. And there are those pockets of people, but there are some legitimate complaints that do have to be addressed. But like if nobody said anything, then how would you ever find out? How would the game get fixed? You know, people, like I said, you can take that sloppy burger and never complain about it, but you know, What's the end game for you? Are you ever going to get what you want out of life? Are you ever going to get the thing that you wanted developed and finished and basically they make the complaint lines the customer service thing because they want your feedback. They want you to keep coming back to the game. They want you to keep coming back to the restaurant. They want you to interact with the game more and more so that you can buy the DLC whenever they push the DLC out. So, and if nobody complains and they keep giving you garbage, most people are just going to walk away from that. They're going to be like, nah, I'll go somewhere else. I'll go play Ultra Street Fighter 2 instead of Smash. You know, at least if it's going to be broken, I'm going to be broken in 2D instead of 3D. So, but I mean, but I mean, that's where I'm saying that the feedback that people give them is important to them for their livelihood and such as game development, because most people are getting smart now. They're not going to spend $60 on some garbage. You know what I mean? They'll be like, you know, nah, I'll just go over to my friend's house. That man's going to buy it. I'll go play it at his house, or they'll just rent it or something like that. You know, they'll be like, nah, we ain't going to spend $60. And we'll wait till the price goes down. You know, because people are starting to get savvy with their money. They're not spending as much money. So if they really want people to buy their game when it, you know, first comes out, they have to give you a reason to believe that they're actually going to fix the game if something's wrong with it. And they have to give you a product that's desirable. You know, Smash was selling on its name alone, you know, basically to the hardcore people. But when you start getting people that haven't ever played Smash before to come into the fold, that's when they start winning, because they're getting a new audience. They're bringing more people into their product. But yeah, like I said, the fact that was the thing that me and Billy were like, I was getting after him about it, because I'm like, you can't tell people they can't complain about something that they pay for, because I mean they give you customer service numbers and all this stuff because they want to hear what you have to say. They want to. I mean, now whether they actually do something with it, there's two things, and then like you end up the Nintendo of old, where you watch their competitors pass you by because they were listening to the people that complained. They were listening to the feedback that they were getting, and they were actually trying to do something about it. They weren't just like filing it away in the garbage can whenever somebody complained about something. And just counting their money. Basically, that's what Nintendo was doing. They're like, well, we got Mario, we got Zelda, we got all this stuff. You know, we just stack up this money, and any complaints we'll just throw them in the trash can while we count this money real quick, until that money stopped coming. And they was like, we ain't got no money to count. We still sitting there on these stacks, but we ain't getting no more new stacks. You know, that's because Sony and Microsoft was starting to steal them stacks away. They were starting to come up with their own little bread. So, but I mean that
Google's about to destroy them.
Yeah, Google's. Don't even get me started on Google, my boy. We need to talk about that. Let's talk about what we need to talk about next time, though. This was good. We went way over the 30, but it was excellent stuff. So we need to talk about that Google console that's coming out.
Bro, and also like next gen for Sony. I want to talk about that.
Wait, which is
podcast?
E3? We have to do it before E3. So like, when does E3? Like early June, right?
It'll be more like after E3.
Nah, but Sony dropped out of E3, so they can work on their stuff. So they're not going to be there at all.
I'm gonna get the PS5 for sure.
Yeah, I gotta see what it's about though. Like, they said next gen. I'm like, I'm ready.
Bro,
I know ET's gonna have
it's about time.
Pokemon, probably.
VR, bro. I think when it comes to the PS5, we're gonna see a bunch of VR stuff, and I'm gonna be like, out of here, bro.
Dude, I'm about to be like, how long was I in this game? 2 days.
I'm gonna be running into walls and everything.
Bro, I'm hyped though.
Bro, I need to see some people them VR videos going wrong.
Dude, do you see the people like the green rooms, where it's like a big room and they like have like VR and all that? Oh my god, it's funny.
I wish I have a VR.
And they also have like those treadmill things where you like run on the treadmill. You actually run in the game, bro. That's funny. I need that.
Bro, they put people on a treadmill with a VR headset.
Yeah, and like when they run, they actually run in the game, bro.
Bro, get out of here with that, bro. That's like way dangerous. Why would they even, bro?
Nah, it's like a 360.
Bro, I'm about to be booking it though.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, that's super crazy. Dang.
Imagine
Can
Usain
I-
Bolt on that thing. Imagine Usain Bolt on the treadmill. That man's about to be out. It's like he's hacking.
Bro. Man, so like this is what I wrote down. We can add more to this, but we're gonna talk about E3. Well, but Frank said after E3, so we need to let E3 pass, and then we have to have
I want to do predictions though. That sounds fun.
predictions.
Maybe a podcast would be a aftermath, but the petition would be its own video. Yes.
So like I'm with Frank. I don't know about no predictions. We can talk about what happened at E3 after it happened.
Yeah,
And then we got the Google console thing. I'm gonna have to do my homework on that because I
need to do some
There's FNAF VR,
and then this man
which is
Daniel with the PS5 and all this stuff. So and Sony's not even gonna be at the E3, so I don't know how you're gonna get info on PS5 until.
They're probably gonna do like next year. Probably they're probably gonna come next year for it.
I believe that Sony's pretty much dead now with this console.
What, bro? They're about to come back with that next gen. There better be something else for them to be dropping out of E3.
Well, the Switch is not going to do it. The Switch is pretty much.
Didn't another company drop out of E3?
I think
Was it EA?
Yeah, it was EA. EA. Well, who cares? Who cares about EA? Honestly,
Nobody plays football.
I don't want that. You can your microtransactions. We don't need that.
Oh
We're
yeah,
good.
it might be
We're good, EA.
game items. Yes.
You can stay where you are.
All right then, boys. I guess we'll call it a podcast. Thanks again to that man Bryce, that man Daniel, and Frank. Thank y'all guys for coming in and sharing y'all guys' opinions on the lot of topics that we had. And we'll hopefully see y'all guys in the next podcast, and we'll be talking about those 3 topics, and we might throw in a couple of more late break-in topics before we get to the next podcast. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll get out of here. Who's going to hit me up with that I quit?
I quit.
Oh snap!
Oh, snap, that man Frank came through with it. All right, we'll catch y'all guys in the next one. Peace out.